to you today about something that I'm really passionate about. I am super excited to teach you about how to start a women's empowerment club in your school. This is something that I did a few years ago, and I've had such wonderful successes with it, and I want to share this with you so that you can do this in your buildings as well. So the reason I started a women's empowerment club a few years ago was I wanted to join another club as an advisor. The district had already hired someone for that position, and I went home and I was lamenting about how I was sad about not being able to be the advisor for this club. So my husband said, well, if you could start any club that you would want to, what would you create? So I decided that it would be a women's empowerment club, and I went to school the next day and I looked into it and I started a club. I had really great response from the students. They were very excited about it. I have numerous students every year, and they just talk about how wonderful the club is and how it's really made a difference in their lives from here on out. So that's how I got started with this club, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, and I've been so lucky lately to present this information at a variety of different places. I presented this to NYSUT in the fall to their Women's Committee meeting, and I was informed yesterday that they have 2 new women's empowerment clubs in New York State that started after presenting this information. I'm also working with my students in the spring to present this at SUNY New Paltz at their Multicultural Education Conference, which I'm super excited to do as well. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about the process that I had to go through to create a women's empowerment club so that you can start one in your school as well. And if you want to start another sort of equity club, you can use the same foundation for this for your club as well. So my club is called We Inspire Strength and Empowerment, or as we like to call it, WISE Club. This was really hard to do, to come up with a name, because it's hard to pick a name that's inclusive to everybody. So we didn't want to make this club only for women. We wanted it to be for everybody in the school that wanted to empower women. So I gave you my little background and history of WISE already. So that is how I came up with the club. So you might have different reasons, different needs. The women I worked with to present at NYSUT had different reasons why they came up with the club. Some of them were having a lot of difficulties in their schools, and the students were begging for some social justice and needed some things to change. I was lucky enough that my district didn't have those issues. I just saw a place that students could go to feel accepted and safe, and how they really needed that location. I also heard a quote before that always says, be the person that you needed when you were in high school. So I could have used a safe place like this to meet with my friends, to learn about different issues, and be able to work on them as a group together, supporting each other. So I wanted to be that person for my students. So what is WISE? So WISE for my students is a safe space. It's where they can go ask questions and be themselves. It is a place of inspiration where they can learn from women in their communities. It is a place to learn, so they can ask questions about anything that they feel comfortable with. And they have talked to me how they don't know everything, and they love having a place that can help them to learn when they're struggling. It's also a place to have fun, so they can be themselves. So these are some of the activities that I've done with my students. So this is at the Humanistic and Multicultural Education Fair at SUNY New Paltz a couple of years ago. We've had people come in and teach us how to do yoga. We had a whole self-defense series where students could learn how to defend themselves if they were ever put in an uncomfortable situation. We do a lot of team building activities, and just to be silly, but also to get to know each other better. We had a We Are Thankful For wall one Thanksgiving where we opened it up to the entire building, because one of the things we like to do in my club is to bring positivity to the entire building. We also have done thank you notes for our teachers during Teacher Appreciation Week to thank them for all their hard work and everything they've done for us. We collected over 100 pairs of jeans to donate to youth that are homeless. And we also took on a project where we made 550 positive affirmation Post-its and hung it on all the freshman lockers when they came back from Regents Week. So I'm going to put a link to this in my YouTube so that you can see this. This is a breakdown of what I did with NYSUT on how to create a women's empowerment club. It has all the different resources that you could possibly need on here. I'm very proud of this. So when you do make your club, you have to ask yourself, Why do you want to make this club? Come up with a mission statement or some sort of purpose for why you would want to create this club. Is it for social justice needs? Is it because your students just need a safe place? Come up with a mission statement to figure out where you want your club to go and what you want it to look like. You also want to think about who would join your club. So when I had this idea, I reached out to a couple of students I thought would be interested in it and said, hey, I have this idea. Would you be interested? And they said, absolutely, and they recruited all their friends to come, which was wonderful. They did all my work for me. You also have to think about, is it possible? Is your district allowing new clubs? Would they be open to this? Would students actually join it? So you got to think through all of the logistics of this as well. And also, what should your club do? So you could do mentoring. You could do community outreach. You could just play games and be silly. You could bring in people from the community to talk about their struggles of being a woman. And who would you invite? So this is where I've had a lot of fun. I have found that whatever I'm doing in my life, I come across super inspiring women, and every time I ask them to join, they always do and tell me that they're honored. I had a vice president of a Fortune 50 come in and talk about working in corporate America. I've had midwives come in to talk about women's health issues. I had the deputy social worker for a county come in to talk about working in government. I've had yoga instructors, self-defense people. I've had anything you can imagine, they've come in. And it's been such a wonderful experience showing students what it's like to work in these jobs, any difficulties that they may or may not have had as a woman in these roles, and how they can be whatever they want in any role that they choose. It's been so wonderful and inspiring to expose the students to these things. This is my contact information. I'll pop it up at the end of the video as well. I just want to give you a heads up that I'm going to show you a couple minutes of videos from students who have been in WISE in the past and how this experience has changed their lives for the better and just their thoughts on the club. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is there, and that's my Twitter account as well. And I look forward to hearing from you and hear of your successes. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Trinity Nieves, and I am lucky enough to say that I was a part of the first WISE club at Valley Central. I remember when Miss Stoll first came to me with this idea of WISE, I was like, sure, I'll join, not really knowing what I'd get myself into, just because I trusted Miss Stoll and I looked up to her so much. But I'm so glad that I did get into it, because since graduating, I realized the skills and lessons that I learned through WISE are the skills and lessons that I use every day. We did activities, made LinkedIn pages, and learned about empowering not only young women, but just people and bringing positivity to the world. And she brought in guest speakers that were women in the work field, and it just made me feel like I could do anything. And as a cheerleading coach now, I am shaping young women through their formative years, shaping their minds, and I realized that I'm doing what Miss Stoll and these guest speakers did for me, and that was just inspired. Since I've graduated, that's all I've been doing is just inspiring young women, and I'm just so grateful to have had this outlet in high school such as WISE, and to work with such amazing other students, and trust Miss Stoll, because I would not be where I am without Miss Stoll and this WISE club. So, yeah.
Hi, my name is Taylor Esposito. I was a member of WISE from 2018 to 2020. From 2019 on, I served as vice president of WISE during my senior year of high school. WISE is a club unlike any other. WISE empowered all of us. I think it gave all of us space to find our own voice, and Miss Stoll especially worked to uplift us and make us feel as if we could do anything. I don't think I will ever feel that again, but I hope in my pursuit to become a teacher, like Mrs. Stoll inspired me, that I can bring that to other students, that feeling. So I'm very grateful to Mrs. Stoll, and I'm very grateful to WISE for all it's done for me today.
Hello, my name is Maeve Harkin, and I was a member of WISE Club. I was a member from my sophomore year to my senior year, 2018 to 2021. My junior year, I was secretary, and my senior year, I was president of WISE. Right now, though, I am a freshman at Hunter College in Manhattan, and I can confidently say that a big reason why I'm here is WISE. When I joined WISE, I was very shy, didn't really have a lot of friends, just sort of going through the motions, you know? I didn't really have the motivation to push myself in many areas. I didn't feel able to. But WISE gave me a safe space to learn and grow, and it gave me a community of other young women that pushed me to be a better version of myself. We pushed each other. Whether we were learning from a local business leader or just sitting doing a craft, I found a community in the members of WISE Club, and I learned how to listen to other people, how to advocate for myself, how to, practice self-care and take care of myself and take care of the people around me. I grew into a confident young woman who was able to eventually help lead the club, something that sophomore year me would have never dreamed of. Basically, WISE Club is this unique opportunity to grow and to really reach your potential. And now that I'm no longer part of WISE, it'll always be part of me, but unfortunately I am no longer in the club. I would love for other young women to be able to experience that. Because I think there's a lot of young women out there like sophomore year me who are just trying to get by, trying to get through it. And they just need the right group of people and the right environment to become an even better version of themselves and to flourish in high school. So, that's what WISE Club means to me. Thank you.